Hello guys. Welcome to Hollywood Recapped. Today I will be explaining you a movie named Cruella, released in 2021. In 1964 a younger girl named Estella was born with her hair half black and half white. She has constantly had an innovative passion and as an alternative feisty character her mom Catherine notices and nicknames her Cruella. Catherine brings Estella to a private school where she promises to behave. However, the other children mock her due to the fact of her hair, and her solely friend is some other girl named Anita, along with a dog she finds and names Buddy after inflicting an awful lot mischief in the course of her time at the school. Estella is expelled. Catherine laments their scenario and goes to ask for help from her enterprise, who is hosting a winter ball at their estate, Hellman Hall. Catherine instructs Estella to remain in the car, but she steps out for a second to look at the birthday celebration. Estella and Buddy sneak into the mansion, the place. Estella, who has always had a love for fashion, is in awe of all the gowns and attire at the ball. Unfortunately, Buddy gets out and after Estella chases after him. She is located by using a valet named John. Estella escapes him. And Buddy is chased by 3 vicious Dalmatians. Estella runs outside the place. Catherine is talking to her employer, Baroness Von Hellman. The Dalmatians run past Estella and pounce on Catherine, difficult enough to push her over the edge of a cliff to her death, which Estella witnesses. The partygoers go backyard to see what happened, but the Baroness lying and claiming that Catherine was once making an attempt to accost her for money. Estella runs with Buddy and travels in a garbage truck. Estella makes it to Regent's Park in London, the place she had wanted to go with her mother. And she realizes that she is missing the necklace her mother had given her to hold on to. She falls asleep by way of the fountain and is observed the subsequent morning by 2 delinquent boys, brothers Horace and Jasper Baden, along with their dog Wink. They are making an attempt to swipe from the fountain when they meet Estella. Jasper determines that she doesn't have a household, and the 3 run away together when an officer catches them. Estella joins the boys at their hideout and Jasper tells Horace that they should hold her around due to the fact having a girl may make her seem like an innocent distraction to humans they designed to rob. Estella dyes her hair to go alongside with the schemes and be unrecognizable 10 years later. Estella continues to pull off crimes with Horace and Jasper, the guide themselves, plus Buddy and Wink. Estella also continues to work on her fashion thoughts on Estella's birthday. The brothers surprise her with a job for the Liberty Department save downtown. Since Jasper had noticed her usually staring at the location, she is very grateful to them. Estella begins working at Liberty as a cleaning lady for a rotten boss named Gerald. He never gives Estella a chance to present her ideas and treats her awfully. Horace and Jasper convey her lunch, and Horace thinks the location can be robbed. However, Estella desires to work honestly, only to have the trash she is taking out get poured onto her when the bag rips open. Gerald then brings her lower back in and tells her to clean overnight. She steals a liquor bottle from his office that night and goes to the window display, which Estella finds hideous. Estella wakes up hungover by way of the window with Horace, Jasper, and different customers. Seeing the show which Estella changed radically to attraction more to her style, Gerald sees and prepares to fire Estella until he is knowledgeable that the Baroness, who owns the store, is arriving. Estella hides with Horace and Jasper, who proceed to nick Gerald's wallet and take hold of a few sweets. The Baroness asks who did the window display, which she simply likes. Gerald says that Estella is the perpetrator and is being fired. However, she instead tells her assistant Jeffrey to give Estella her business card. Estella runs off with the Badens in celebration of moving on up. Estella starts off evolved to work at the house of Baroness, coming up with gown ideas and designs. She sees very quickly that the Baroness is a cold and soulless woman. She only opinions the work of her employers and has rather sociopathic dispositions, such as the use of a razor to reduce the sleeves off Estella's format, and now not care when she by accident nicks Estella's hand. After work, she stops through a store operated by a man named Artie, who rapidly befriends Estella considering she likes his trend experience. She also notices a purple gown made by way of the Baroness in the window. Throughout her time working, Estella shows the Baroness that she sincerely does have a brain for fashion. However, Estella modifications her tune towards the Baroness when she sees that she is carrying her mother's necklace in spite of the Baroness claiming it is a household heirloom when she tells Estella that a former employer tried to rob her and then fell off a cliff. Estella begins to feel pure hatred for the Baroness. Estella brings the news to Horace and Jasper, seeing it as an opportunity to pull off a heist, especially seeing as how the Baroness is set to host an upcoming gala. Estella memorizes the Baroness's schedule and how the guards work and move around. The plan for the heist she is aware of that she will be identified if she tries to attend, but she is aware of anybody who can arrive. On the night of the gala, Horace and Jasper sneak into the building under the guise of pest exterminators, the use of Wink as a fake rat. Jasper then makes his way to the safety cameras as the heist commences. Estella leaves her wig off and retains her herbal hair. Showing up in disguise as Cruella and sporting the Baroness's dress she noticed in Artie's store, she stuns all of us in attendance, including the generally unimpressed Baroness also viewing and astonished as Anita, who is a journalist and acknowledges Estella from her hair. Estella subdues the Baroness's guards before having a seat with the Baroness when Horace strategies the safe. But the necklace, he finds it empty and Estella sees that the Baroness is carrying it. Just as the Baroness realizes Cruella is trespassing, Jasper sets off some rats into the party, causing a distraction that allows Estella to snatch the necklace off the Baroness and supply it to Buddy. Unfortunately, the Baroness's Dalmatians come out, and one of them swallows it after attempting to take it back from Buddy. Estella sees that the Baroness is using a whistle to control the dogs, which is what she also used when Catherine died, meaning the Baroness deliberately called upon her puppies to kill Catherine after their truck is towed. Estella hotwires the car to get away with the Baddens and their puppies. Estella stops and cries over the truth that her boss murdered her mother. The subsequent morning, Estella is still performing as her Cruella persona, ordering Horace and Jasper to steal the Baroness's dogs so one of them can pass the necklace. Estella then goes off to Anita's workplace, still as Cruella, and asks her to get the word out about her non-public exploits. Meanwhile, Horace and Jasper find the Dalmatians as they are being given baths, and they use Wink as bait to get them to come out earlier than taking them away in a van. Cruella quickly starts to crash many extra events held by way of the Baroness. And with Anita protecting it in the paper, Cruella turns into a trend sensation, definitely upstaging and overshadowing the Baroness. She grows greater and greater agitated, even firing her attorney Roger for failing to have Cruella arrested, then instructs Estella to come up with a new design for an upcoming spring collection presentation. Estella orders a distinctive material and creates the costume, which the Baroness is absolutely impressed by way of, although she plans to take credit for it. Estella has Horace and Jasper sneak into the house of Baroness and create a commotion to make it show up as although Cruella tried to break in, leading the Baroness to have her attire saved. Interior a top secret vault. Back at home, Estella's more and more conceited conduct has begun to put a strain on her relationship with Horace and Jasper. The Baroness holds her spring series show, but when they open the vault, a swarm of moths fly out, having torn via nearly all the dresses. This is because the material with which Estella made her gown were unique cocoons. Outside, Horace and Jasper, accompanied through Artie, put on an actual show, where Artie sings "I Wanna Be Your Dog" and Cruella emerges with a gown made of Dalmatian fur. The Baroness to assume that Cruella killed her dogs. When Estella returns home, she finds Horace and Jasper tied up, with the Baroness and her henchmen having deduced that Cruella is Estella. The henchmen snatch Estella and tie her to a chair, with the Baroness planning to have Horace and Jasper framed for killing Cruella in a fireplace. Estella fires lower back that she knows the Baroness killed her mother, but by using her words, she is implied to have killed others when she doesn't immediately understand who Estella is talking about. She leaves Estella, plus Buddy and Wink, to burn, but Estella sees a mysterious figure coming to get her. The region burns down, and word spreads that Cruella has died. Estella wakes up in John's house, along with Buddy and Wink. He brings her Catherine's necklace and lets her comprehend that it's been wholly bleached, which, to Estella's surprise, includes a key to a container. Inside the field is a birth certificate of Estella's. John then displays that the Baroness is Estella's actual biological mom. Although the Baron did desire children, the Baroness' idea being a mother would avert her success, so she ordered John to have the child killed after she was once born, but he is a substitute located Catherine and gave Estella to her so she can be raised accurate. Estella is in disbelief and runs away. Stealing a motorbike from a delivery boy, she rides lower back to Regent's Park, the place she addresses the area as Catherine. While she is in disbelief at being lied to about Catherine not being her mother, she nonetheless considered her as such and now decides to include her new identity as Cruella. Estella gets a truck and busts via the front of the police station. Then units wink in her to get a key to Horace and Jasper's cells. Although they ruin out, they are nonetheless mad at Estella for how she handled them. After she tells them about the Baroness being her real mother, they go again to John's home, the place. She says that Horace and Jasper are her family. They then acquire to come up with a last graph to bring down the Baroness, and Estella later goes to Artie for assist as nicely. Horace comes again with the Baroness's Panther de Ville car, and Estella likes the sound of the identify. The Baroness hosts some other ball, where all in attendance are sporting wigs to honor Cruella. Estella grabs a pin and pokes the Baroness, distracting her. Long sufficient to grasp her canine whistle, she uses it to convey the Dalmatians outside through the cliffside. Horace, Jasper, Artie, and John accumulate people to start heading backyard. Estella receives the Dalmatians to obey her and then reveals to the Baroness that she is her daughter. The Baroness once again takes credit score for Estella's intelligence and pretends to favor to take over the commercial enterprise alongside her. She tactics her as if to hug her, but rather pushes Estella over the side. This is witnessed by means of everyone, simply as the police arrive and the Baroness is unable to cover it up. Luckily, Estella prepared for this, and she makes use of a parachute to quit her fall as the Baroness is being arrested. Cruella arrives as soon as again shocking each person. Estella, through narration, exhibits that she bequeathed her will to Cruella, knowing that Baroness would strive to kill her, which now leaves her with her mother's fortune. Cruella holds a funeral for Estella, then takes Horace and Jasper plus Buddy, Wink, and the newly adopted Dalmatians back to the estate. Together with John and Artie as section of the team, Cruella tells the brothers that she has some huge plans and keep. Cruella leaves a Dalmatian puppy named Pongo at Roger's home and some other named Perdita at Anita's domestic. Roger, who has now come to be a songwriter, begins to write Cruella's iconic theme song.